the Internal Affairs and Performance Director, while Sean is the Secretarial Division Director. So let me give you a brief overview of the interview structure. This interview will last approximately for 1 hour and is divided into 4 parts, namely Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D. So Part A is where we will ask you some general questions to get to know you better. Part B is where you will be asked further competency questions so we can learn more about your qualities and also skill sets. Part C is where you will be presented with a simple case study question. And last but not least, for Part D. So let us begin the interview. First question. So tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name is WEI, and graduated from JUN High School in KL. So currently, I'm taking BBA Marketing in PolyU.
Anything more you want to elaborate?
Okay. Can I talk about like why I'm interested to join ICMS?
Well, yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, sure. So because I heard that during the recruitment talk, I heard that Jimmy said ICMS could help us to build a network. So that's the main reason why I want to join ICMS.
Okay. So, Jun, what are your current and expected commitments for the upcoming year?
Okay. You mean the commitment on ICMS, right?
No, just commitments in general, like if, for your university life, any other organizations, stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Because I'm more focusing on my academic. So because like I have taken 7 subjects in this semester, so I will be taking a service learning. So I think in next semester I will join the service learning and I will have to take like 7 subjects in the next semester next year. So that will be a little bit busy for me.
Okay. So did you ICMS?
Sorry?
Did you apply to any other organizations apart from ICMS?
You mean did I sorry?
Apply to like any other organizations?
Okay.
Apart from ICMS.
No. But I have joined like the MSA, I mean Malaysian Student Association in PolyU, and
Okay.
I'm the committee of PolyU.
Understood. Okay, so moving on to the next question. What achievement are you most proud of, and how did you achieve this? What obstacles did you overcome, and what did you learn from it?
Okay. I was the vice president of Scout Society in Sunjin High School. I think the whole career is my achievement. So why I'm proud of it because Scout Society is the largest society in Sunjin High School. So there were about 172 people in the society last year. So we have led the society and achieved the outstanding award in Sunjin High School. So I think that's why I'm proud of my sorry. And that's the reason I think I'm proud of to being a vice president in Scout Society, and that's my achievement in the society.
Okay, so can you give me an elaboration on how did you achieve this, like the place of the vice president, and what obstacles did you overcome in this journey, and what did you learn from it?
Okay.
Did you catch my question?
Okay, can you repeat the first question? Sorry.
So how did you achieve this position, like your vice president position? What obstacles did you overcome, and what did you learn from it, this entire process?
Okay. First, I joined the Scout Society from Junior 1. So I participate for every activities because we have like service and I'm play like very enthusiastic in their event. So for every event they have help for, and I pay my attention on every event, and I give passion to them. So after that, start from senior 1. I mean, start from my senior 1, and they start to let me help some event, and I did well. I performed well, so they just keep giving me more opportunities to help more event. So at the end, they just select me for as a vice president for the Scout Society. And for the obstacles I have met, it's like I have to. As for the obstacles, I think but actually I just did like I pay more attention on the event, and I think the main obstacle is like we have to balance the academic and I have to balance between the academic and the extracurricular activities. So I think that's the obstacles.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. What do you hope to get out of your time with ICMS?
Okay, at the end, I hope I can build my network for myself because I'm currently studying marketing, and because like I believe all students studying in marketing will have many challenges because marketing is like a very common subject. So even in Hong Kong, I don't think marketing will. I will even I am studying in Hong Kong, but I don't think I will have more advantages than the students studying marketing in Malaysia. So to make me more outstanding, I think I have to build my own network. Like I heard Jimmy say that she built the network. So when he back to Malaysia, he get an internship. So that's what I'm looking for.
Okay. So that's it for part A. So now let us move on to part B, the competency questions. So question number 1. If the spearheading is not well responded by the audience, how would you approach this? So let me give you an example. On the actual event day, with all your VIPs and stakeholders arriving, and you only have a rate, how would you approach this? So you have 4 minutes to answer this question.
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Okay, sure.
The question is not the example. Yeah.
So let me repeat the question again. If the portfolio that you are spearheading, so example, let's say an event that you are preparing, is not well responded by the audience, how would you approach this? So let me give you a few more examples. So the first example, on the actual event day, with all your VIPs and stakeholders arriving, you own turnout rate. How would you approach this? Or another example, you have a KPI of a certain number of signups, but you are only 50% through it. So how would you approach this?
You mean there are only just 50% audience that have attended the event, right?
Yes. So basically, like let's say on your event day, all the VIPs are here, the event is on, but only 50% of the people turn up. What would you do? This is just an example. So like the main question is basically, if the portfolio that you're spearheading is not well responded by the audience, how would you approach this? You have 4 minutes to answer this question. So time's ticking right now.
I will still let the event run continue to run the event because because the participant will not reach the venue, even they will not appear or they will not turn up. So I will still continue the event, and after the event, I will send out like a follow up email to them, or to I will try more approaches to meet those who didn't arrive. So I will find out the reason, and I will try to do better to make this failure will not appear again.
Okay, so but also do consider the fact that you will also have to be in contact like with the stakeholders and also like the VIPs of your event, because they are usually like also the important people. So let me move on to the next question. So in your opinion, what are the 3 most important criteria that one should possess when working with others in a team? And do you see yourself as a team leader or a follower?
Okay.
Again, you have 4 minutes to answer this question.
Okay, the first characteristic I think is the passionate. So even if you are a leader or you are just a member, you still have to be passionate in every event. So if you don't have the motivation to have an event or to run an activity, if you don't have the motivation, you will not success. Motivation is the first one. So the second one I think is responsibility. So if you are a leader, you have the responsibility to carry your member. You have to lead them you have to lead them to success. You have to work with them. As a leader, I think the responsible of a leader more is harder than a member, because the leader should be the person to link all the member and then make everyone work together to achieve something. And okay, and the third I think the third characteristic is positive. So somehow when we are doing something, there must be we must make like we will face difficulties. So sometimes some people they will be negative, they will say like, no, we can't do that. So if when they say out this word, I think they're going to lose. They cannot continue to achieve their they cannot continue to try to achieve their dream. So always be positive. I think um is an important characteristic.
Okay, so do you find yourself to be more of a team leader or follower, and why?
Okay. I found myself more be a follower. Actually, I can be a leader as well, but okay. During my 6 year studies in Sunjin High School and during my 6 year career in the Scout Society, one thing I've learned most importantly is like, you should always do the right thing at the right time, and so these words, I think this slogan is really helpful to me until now. So as a follower, I think this one is the easiest way to help the leader. I just need to listen to him, or I can suggest him something. So I will also remind myself, do the right thing at the right time. So the right thing at the right time, like maybe when we are having a conference, then we should like focus on the conference, concentrate in the conference. Then like I will not question is not related to the topic. So I think that this is a way to do the right thing in the right time. I will try my best to give a useful opinion to in the conference.
Okay, thank you. So the next question, what would you do if you were given a task that you have no idea on how to perform? Has this ever happened to you?
Okay. Okay. Actually, yes. Okay. I Form 4 life. So it's start of the Form 4, early of 2016. So they have select me. They have elected me. The event is like a Chinese New Year party. So it's in the school. So you have to set up a booth. Set up You have to set up 4 booths for one society. So 2 for food and drinks, and another 2 for games. So that time I was just 16 years old, and I don't have any experience in making this in holding an event like this. So what I have do is I will ask everyone I can approach. I will ask every senior, um, and I ask every senior I can talk with them and ask for their opinion. And it's not just the senior. I have also asked my teacher, ask my friends. I will combine all of the opinion they have provided to me. So that just like how to start
Okay.
the thing I didn't know.
Okay, just a follow-up question. You say that you will ask, like you gather all the opinions from your teachers, seniors, and as well as your friends. But how do you actually make a conclusion, as in, whose opinions are better than the other one? And because when you have more opinions, usually it's quite difficult for you to conclude things. Yeah. So how do you deal with this kind of situation?
Um, okay, basically it's like this. When I am because in the event we have set up a committee group, so there are about 10 to 12 people in the committee group. So we will have like a general conference in we hope we will have two conference for the event. So the first conference is before the conference start. I already have gathered all of the opinion. So when the conference is so I have set up a session in the conference. In last we will have a poll session for the to make a decision. So I think why we will have a conference, the purpose for a conference, I think, is to make decision, because the decision maker is for me, the decision maker is not always a leader, but as a group, every person can provide their opinion and they have the right to do decision.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so next up, can you tell about a time that you motivated or earned commitment from your team or your peers?
I think it's in my last year of my study in high school, because the last year is the most important year also, because I was the vice president, and we have the unified we have the UEC in our high school. So that time everyone have to study, and they have. But as for me, as I'm also the vice president of for the largest society in the school. So yeah, every time we will have to balance our academic and our extracurricular activities. So every we will just encourage each other, and we will not say out that words, but we will just keep working together. The most powerful words they have given to me is not a words, it's in action, because they work together with me. That's all. That is enough for me, I think, because at least there are someone keep working with me.
Okay, I see. So how do you handle a stressful situation, like, or balance, between your academic and co-curriculum in a very tight schedule?
Okay. In my principles, it's like this. I think my academic will be after my extracurricular activities, because and responsibility will always be the first one. Responsibility will be the first, and my academic results will be the second, and the third one will be the extracurricular activities. So while I am a leader, I will focus more on the extracurricular activities while I am a leader. But if I am a member, I think okay, sorry. Let me repeat. So
Okay.
there are just responsibilities and academic. So I think responsibilities will always be the first one. So because when we are in a group and everyone have their own tasks, if I just I have failed to complete my task, I will make the whole group to fail. So I can't bear with it. So for me, responsible always be the first one.
Okay, so can you give me an elaboration of how do you define responsibility? Because you said first is responsibility, second being your studies, and third being your co-curricular activities. So what is first responsibility that you're talking about?
I think just I've said, like, responsibility mean, like, if we are going sorry, if you are going to hold an event and yeah, there must be a task assigned to me. So that is the responsibility.
Okay. Okay, so thank you for sharing with
Okay.
us.
Sorry, just another question. Okay, you need to be responsible in your studies as well as co-curricular activities. But what, like, you should be responsible to yourself as well, right?
Yes.
So how are you going to take care, like, as in, yeah, I know you might be going to actually work everything out, but you might sacrifice yourself in terms of your health, or maybe some relationships that you develop with your family or friends because you have no time to spend with them. So how do you balance with this kind of responsibility in terms of your personal, towards your personal
Okay.
matters? Yeah.
Okay. Because in my, I think I have performed well in balancing the academic and extracurricular activities in my senior 3 year, because I don't think I get a bad grade in UEC, but I have also achieved well in the field of society. So because but if you need me to give you a like a hypothesis, so in how to balance when I am facing the situation, I can't balance each other. But for me, I think like responsibility, because academic responsibility, if I fail the academic, uh the one will take the consequence will be me, just me. But if I fail in an event, the whole group will take the failure. So I will choose to not let the whole group to fail.
Okay. Just to be very honest from what I heard from you, I think if in this case you might actually feel uh like easily feel stressed when it comes to dealing with commitments in terms of co-curricular activities and as well as studies. So do you actually have any ways to relieve your stress? Like, do you have any hobbies to help with? Yeah.
Usually I play mobile games and I
Okay.
watch YouTube. Yeah, that's the easiest way. But because in my last year, senior 3 year, the way I relieve my stress is mostly is sleep and talk with my friend. So the game is not helpful. I think to have enough uh to have enough uh relax enough and talk with a friend is the best way.
Okay. Okay, that's all from me. Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for part B of the interview. So now we are moving into part C. So what part C will be is that we will give you, we will present you with a simple case study question. You have 2 minutes to work on this case study and 2 minutes to present it to us. And after it will be a 3-minute Q&A session. So now let me start with the questions. So in the event where your colleagues are involved in a dispute, which is disadvantageous to the team dynamics, how would you approach this problem? So you have 2 minutes to work on this and 2 minutes to present your answer to us, starting now.
Okay.
You do still have some time to prepare.
Oh.
No worries. We will tell you when time's up.
Okay. Okay. In my experience, I've learned that communications is the most element to solve every problem. So if there a topic, so just of in the first of the I have said I will just have a conference, or it's not it will not be a formal conference, and we can just like everyone sit down and talk. The communication, I think, is the most important things. So everyone have to reach the talk, and everyone just need to, because like when they have dispute, I think they will bring their emotion as well. They will bring their emotion when they are talking. So everyone will bring emotion, so they will angry to each other. Yeah. So when the communication starts, I will ask them to put down their emotional. So we can just talk, find the reasons of the disputes, discuss, and conclude. Just make a decision together.
So may I ask, like, how do you ensure that they won't bring their emotions to the table when they meet in person? Or if it's like, or let's say if they can't meet in person for this, then how would you try to solve this? Because like most of the times, people try to not bring their emotions in, but if in the first place, it might happen the second time. So how would you, as the person of the team, ensure that your teammates can talk the issue out and settle it in a professional way?
Okay. I think to solve this problem, I think for my way, I will build my relationship with my group mates. So it's not in the conference, because like we are a team, so we basically will have relation. We will have we are living with each other. We in our daily outing, hang out. Yeah, for me, as when I am leader, I mean, when I am in a senior year 3, so actually I will try my best to learn more about my group member. I will analyze their characteristic. I will know what they are concerning about, and how the person are they. So when I know this very well, I think that's enough. I think there is a key. That's the key point to make them not that to put down that emotional.
So let me follow up with a question. Have you been in a part of like a dispute with your other team members, and how have you solved this problem that you have faced?
Yes, in last year, when I am the vice president of the Scout Society, because our coach and our teachers, they want us to they want us to just hold an event. The event is very large, and I think that will cost too much time. So I am at that time I'm afraid like the whole society of the member cannot balance their academic and their extracurricular activities. I'm afraid of that because the activity is really hard to hope for. So in that time, there were two kind of person. One is one type of person they don't want to have the event, and one they keep they just try they want to and another one type of person they want to continue the event. So in that time, yeah, the committee group, two kind of person, and everyone are just uh arguing, should we continue the event, should we hold the event. For me, in that time, I try my best. Analytics, I just tell them why we shouldn't hold the event. At least to them. First one, the like it will cost too much time, so everyone cannot balance their work, cannot balance their academic and their extracurricular. The second one is like we haven't prepared enough for ourselves because to hold a an event, I think everyone must be really everyone must be responsible for themselves. If not, everyone must be responsible because like when we are doing something and then they just say like today I am not free, so I won't come for the preparation. Yeah. So that's the second reason I told them not everyone have the responsibility. So yeah, I just analyze the reasons.
Okay.
And tell them, and we discuss and we conclude.
Okay, thank you for your elaboration. So, may I ask if you have attended any of ICMS events in Malaysia, like the MPPC, which is the Malaysian Public Policy Competition, or Industry Insights?
Sorry, no, because I first heard ICMS in Hong Kong.
Okay, no worries about that. Okay, so next up, let me present you with another question. If your team under your leadership during your term is facing severe low work engagement rate, how would you approach this? So let's say, given that you are in need of assistance on your team members' workload that needs to be delivered within the deadline, and at the same time, you guys have your personal commitments such as assignments to look after as well. So let me just repeat: if your team under your leadership during your term is facing severe low work engagement rate, how would you approach this? 2 minutes to prepare for this question and 2 minutes to answer.
Sorry, can I ask something? Are you talking about like if one of the member fail to they claim they are doing their assignment and they don't have time to
Okay.
commit?
Yes.
Is it?
So basically, like if you are working on a project or like maybe a competition or something, and then like the team that you're leading, they're not engaging with you, so you can't contact them and stuff like that. And then when you do get in contact with them, you're saying that, oh, I'm busy with assignments, or I'm busy with my studies and whatnot. So how would you approach this problem and how would you solve it?
Okay, thank you. Okay. In that case, I have met some similar case before. So that time firstly I will track because when I am the vice president, I will track everybody their process for any works. So I will keep tracking them, asking them how are you doing? Are you doing well? How do you feel? Something like this. So I can ensure myself I can ensure I will have the first update information. So I will know, okay, this person, I think he cannot I think he cannot complete his task. So even if he didn't reply to me, so the first thing I will do, I will try to divide his work. And if the works is able to divide, so I will divide the works and assign to everyone, or I will find a new person to replace him. So, and what about the person who did not responsible to his work? I think, yeah, basically for that kind of person, I will kick him out to the groups from the groups. Sorry.
So when you said that you will find let's say like a new person to help you, how can you ensure that new person, is willing, let's say like they won't feel that it's unfair, we are all working on a team, but then why am I bearing more workload than the other people?
Okay, basically in our school, they've like we got points for the society. So people who commit more, they performing well, they will get more points. They will get more marks. So yeah, in that case, there will also the person they are willing to commit because they want to get marks. In that case, so yeah.
But what if, because ICMS does not work in that way, that we do not have a point system to actually reward to those who actually do more? So how will you deal with this? And what if you are unable to find someone to replace with that particular duty? Yeah. How will you deal with it?
I think in that case, if let's say we are having an event, and I am sure everyone know the event must be still run. In order to let the event run smoothly, everyone have to still take the words. So even if they blame on a person, or if they will blame me, yeah, I think they will still have to do it. So because I will let them know, if we didn't devise the work, if we don't do more, the event will not run smoothly.
Okay, so
Okay, all right, yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So that concludes part C of our interview. So now moving on to part D. So in this session, it will be a pitching session where we will introduce you to the project pitch. You have 1 minute to prepare for your pitching session, and then 1 minute to actually pitch to us. So without further ado, let's move on. with the questions. Okay, so first question. Now imagine that we are a group of strangers that have no ICMS. Pitch ICMS to us. So now you have 1 minute to prepare for your pitch.
Okay. The speech will be like, okay, hi everyone. I'm Junwei from the ICMS Hong Kong. So as part of the member, briefly briefly introduce to you what is ICMS. So ICMS stands for the International Council of Malaysian Scholars and Associates, and our aims is to help the members to build network. So, and we will provide, and through the secondly, ICMS provide opportunities for their members. What kind of opportunities? Opportunities means like we can provide the chance for internship, because we will link when you are ICMS will have any kind of event in every region. In Hong Kong, so when we are when we are holding an event, we met different kind of people. So that's the opportunities you will get. You will make more friends, even from different universities. Or you can make more friends from other fields, like the person that already in working in the sorry.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. Pitch yourself to us. So tell us why you should be selected to be an ICMS 10 Council Junior Associate and not the other interviewees that we have interviewed. You are given 1 minute to prepare your pitch and 1 minute to present it to us after.
Okay. So I think trying joining ICMS will be helpful in my career because the reason is I've said before is ICMS provide networks. That's all I need, and when I have the reason, so there will be motivation for me to contribute. So I can ensure that and I have the experience to lead a team and work with a team before, and it's for 6 years. So yeah, when that's the reason, yeah, they also have I have also the motivation too. So I will use all my experience to contribute to ICMS.
So when you say like you have worked with a team for like the past 6 years, but for ICMS the term is relatively shorter. Like it's only maybe less than half a year for you to get to know the people that you'll be working with ICMS. So how would you ensure that projects would go on smoothly when, let's say, if people with different working styles work together and you do not have that much time to get to know each other, to go out and hang out, and you already have to initiate a project? So what would you do?
I think okay, sorry. This is also a question for me because I have also met this kind of people before. They are not willing to contribute more. So there's only one ways to solve this problem. We have to when everyone they drop out from the group, so we can just divide his works or so.
Okay, thank you for your answer. So do you have any questions for us?
No.
Okay, so
Okay. I have a question for you, as in, do you think that is it good for us to keep things up, like keep the problems away? Like we're not mentioning the problems to others, or is it better for us to actually reveal the problem so that we can discuss together? Because if you not reveal the problems, yeah, you might not have hard feelings being revealed, but the problem is still there. But if you reveal the problems, then hard feelings will be revealed. Yeah. So which one do you prefer more?
You mean like hard feelings?
Yeah.
If you review her problems, then we will get the hard feeling. It means
Yeah.
it is like
I mean, when it comes to problems, do you choose to disclose the problems to others, or you choose to keep
yes.
the problems?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, this is also one thing I have learned in my high school life. So when you are facing a problem, if you don't reveal it early, so if you don't share your problem with others early, then at the end you will have to bear with the consequence, right? So at the end you will still have to solve the problem because the problem is still there. So if you don't solve the problem early, at the end you will get scolded by others. So I think it's appropriate. It's necessary to solve the problem, and it's necessary to share the problem with others.
So you say you learn, but will you apply?
Will I apply?
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
you know the thing, but whether will you apply? Yeah.
Yes. This is what I always doing. When I don't know how to do something, I will ask the senior. Yeah, because I think yeah, I will ask the senior and I will ask the teacher.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for your time today for the interview, and that's it for this interview session. So results will be released from early to mid-November. Do check your inbox and spam folder regularly during the time. So in the meantime, questions, or if you would like a more comprehensive feedback, do feel free to drop any of us an email after this.
Okay,
So
sure.
thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Huh? 你 install about broadcast 吗? Do you stop the broadcast? Yeah.